What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Nutrition Talks with Tyson the Trainer, who is me, obviously. That beep was my treadmill if you heard that. Hope you guys are off to a good start to the week. I know I am, which has been fantastic. It's a bit rainy here, but it is what it is. You know, rain makes me a little bit ranty, so I actually want to make a bit of a rant cast today. So, you know, you're going to get some information out of there, but it's also going to be me just fucking going off a little bit, because it has been a while, right? And what I kind of want to rant about today, what I want to rant about today, is just, you know, with you and your expectations, and who you're following, and what you are deeming as success or failure, especially when it comes to your health and fitness. Because I know the people you follow. I know the people you look up to. I know those fucking fitfluencers that you're like, I wish I looked like them. You know, oh, I'm failing because I'm not doing what they say. I'm not dedicated enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. And the biggest thing you need to do is take a fucking step back and think about these people that are giving you advice, the people that you follow, the ones that you think have all the answers, the ones that you think, you know, they look great and you want to look like them. Like, you've got to stop using their body as a metric of success and what they do. Because guess what? It's not fucking you, right? Like, let's just take an average fitfluencer and let's look at what their lifestyle looks like for the most part. These people are between 20 and mid-30s, basically. Usually, they're single or they have a partner who is also a fitfluencer. Fitfluencer, I should say. They're always fitfluencers because they're a fucking influencer. So they've got someone who's also on the same page as them, usually. Or they're single, just going out, fucking do whatever. They have no kids. They may have a dog, you know, or some cats like me. And their job is usually just fucking posting on social media and working out and, like, you know, the fitness lifestyle side of things. And they're telling you, if you want it bad enough, you got to train 7 days a week. You got to do cardio. You got to track your macros. If you're not going to go out and you can't track your macros, then you're not dedicated enough. If you're not going to do this, if you're not going to do that, and it's like, these people that are telling you these things and are making you feel shit, like, think about think about their lifestyle and how it has no correlation with your lifestyle at all. All right? Do you want to be someone who's stepping on stage? If you do, then, like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing listening to me, to be honest. Because I'm all about, you know, being healthy and fit, and stepping on stage isn't really that, right? So if you want to be doing that, then you should be listening to them, you know? But if you don't, then what the fuck are you listening to these people for about what they talk about? Like, again, their metrics of success and what they do in their lifestyle, because this is their lifestyle, you know, their fucking boring ass lifestyle, them sitting around on a Friday night, oh, I gotta track my macros tonight, I'm gonna make sure it's gonna be perfect. You know, I'm gonna spend my Saturday evening meal prepping. I'm gonna be fucking spending my Sunday making sure I get up at 5 a.m. and go and do my steps and my fucking perfect treadmill, and then I'm gonna go and do my little workout. I'm gonna take my selfies and I'm gonna post it on Instagram, and I'm gonna talk about how I win the day, you know, and my meditation routine in the morning, and everything's fucking perfect. Guess what? That's not you, right? And these people who are giving you this advice, making you feel like shit, telling you gotta do all these things, have no fucking idea how the real world actually works. Like, what actual real, like, out of their bubble, okay? I'm actually kind of just putting this in, like, you know, don't everyone hate me who's in the Gold Coast. But as a majority, it's like, you know, they're living that Gold Coast lifestyle. They're in a fucking apartment. They live near the beach all the time. Well, they live near the beach, sorry. They live near the beach all the time. Obviously, they live near the beach all the time if they live there. But, you know, they've got this little hub. And all they do is they go and, like, you know, they keep it, it's like fucking, like, they keep it in their little circle, basically. And they just don't see anything else. They don't see the people who have a fucking normal job, who work between 8 to 14 hours a day based on what you're doing, you know? Some days require you to work long hours. They don't understand that people maybe have kids and fucking other lives that they have to, you know, deal with. They don't realize that there's responsibilities more than just going to the fucking gym. They don't realize that on the weekend, you want to go and do other shit versus sitting at home, tracking every macro to the gram and fucking freaking out and obsessing over yourself if you're going to go out for dinner and you can't count your calories, you count your macros properly. They expect you to do all this because they want to do it. They think you need to do it. And they make you feel bad for it. But it's like, are you fucking, like, why are you comparing yourself to these people who you don't want to be? Like, ideally, everyone looks at a physique like, oh yeah, I'd like to look like that. But you're using that as a metric of success and thinking, in order to look like that, you have to do the obsessive things. but you don't actually want to look like that because the dedication, the effort required is just not fucking worth it. But you're using this metric as success and you feel like shit when you're probably doing a lot of good things in your life. You probably have a really good job, okay? Or you have a family that loves you, a partner that fucking loves you, a cat or a dog or kids that love you. I got 2 little kitties. And it's just like, do you want to be spending your whole life being obsessed with this fitness side of things? Because bodybuilders always rise to the top, the looks rise to the top on Instagram. That's what everyone looks at. And it's like, do you want to fucking live that lifestyle? Because I sure as hell don't, Like, even for me, I'm like, yeah, sweet, I want to look good. But, like, there is no fucking chance I'm living the way they are. Because I am a normal person, like you. I want to enjoy life a bit. I like going to get on it occasionally. Like, I'm pretty boring for the most part because I'm just getting older. But, like, I do like to go get on it. And I understand that my clients like to have social lives. I understand that my clients work long hours. I understand that my clients have family and other shit they want to do instead of just being obsessed with health and fitness. And so this is where you've got to kind of take a step back and look at who you're looking up to and, like, do you want to do what they want to do, basically, And if you don't, that's okay. And if you think you want to look like them, but you're not willing to do all that stuff, that's also okay. You just accept you're not going to look like that. And that's absolutely fine, because when you think about that, you're like, oh, I really don't want to look like that. Why? What do you think that's going to do for you? Like, honestly, what will that do for you? It's not going to make you happier. Like, abs don't make you happier, okay? I've got somewhat abs, and I'm eating as much food as I can, and I'm training a lot. And, like, what actually makes me happy is that I can eat a lot of food. I don't give a fuck whether I have abs or not. I'm like, I would way rather just be able to enjoy my life and have food, I like that I don't have to obsessively go to the gym every day of my life. Like, I go to the gym. I also do boxing. I also like to swim. I also like to do my assault bike. Like, I just do different things of fitness. I don't just live and breathe in the fucking gym. My cardio isn't, I'm going to the gym today to go and do a cardio piece of equipment. Usually I'll do the assault bike. I'll do boxing. Do I want to go for a swim today? Like, I've got that variation there. And this is why I'm so big on this good enough concept, because with you, like with what you're trying to do with you guys, like, again, you don't want to be able to be extremely lean, because then you're food focused, you're food deprived, you're living in a state of low energy availability, you're not being able to enjoy yourself just because you're like, oh, I'd love to look like that. You'd be fucking less happier. You would definitely be less happier that extreme lean, because guess what? It's not a part of your lifestyle. Again, like, these people live and breathe fucking chicken breast and broccoli and, caps and fucking Coke on the weekend. That's all they do, basically. So it's like, do you want to be doing that? Do you want to be miserable, food focused, body focused all the time, hanging around with people who all they want to talk about is like, oh yeah, I just lift. Like, people, like, when I like go out and talk to people about things, when conversations come up, what do you do? Yeah, I'm a nutritionist or a trainer. And then people start telling me about them. Oh, I've been trying to do this and this. And, like, for me, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, or they're like, we're eating something. And they're like, oh, are you sure you're going to eat that? I'm like, yes, I'm going to fucking eat this. Like, I want this food. Or they might look down at their plate and they'll be like, oh, well, I don't really eat like this. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you do, man. It's like, do your life at the end of the day. Like, it's about, having flexibility and being able to live. So, like, I'm not going to fucking judge anyone. But I'd much rather be able to go out with food, go get food with people, have a little bit of enjoyment, have conversations that are not just fucking body composition and gym related, or discuss what the latest and greatest fucking, trends are on TikTok about fitness, and instead just talk about more interesting shit, And this goes back to the whole thing that, like, in a way it's narcissistic with the bodybuilding side of things, because again, everyone's like focused on their body, and it's like you're judging someone who doesn't have a physique like you. Not you, I don't like to talk about these people. They judge someone because they don't have a good physique, and they use that as their self-worth to determine someone's self-worth. It's like, Bill Gates, like, oh, fucking, mate, Bill Gates, look at him, scrawny, fucking tiny, mate. He doesn't even lift. Yeah, okay, but he's helping the world, like, with poverty. Okay, or he's trying to, like, what's he trying to do? Get rid of, like, some disease. I can't remember what it is. He's just doing shit in the world. like any of these people, like, you know, they're a philanthropist, they're fucking CEOs of companies that are trying to do good things, and you're like, oh mate, but does he even lift? It's like there's fucking more to life than just focusing on lifting. And this is also what you need to understand. Like, if you have a coach and they are just thinking that they're telling you, go to the gym this amount of times a week, go and do this cardio, and it's consuming your life, then they do not understand your lifestyle and what you're trying to achieve. Or if you're trying to live that lifestyle and it's not sustainable, then you're fucking focusing on the wrong goals. Because, as I always say, health and fitness needs to add to your lifestyle, not consume it. And I don't think people understand what that means. When it adds to your lifestyle, it gives you more energy. It gives you more, like, you know, just focus and just feel good for the day. And it's just something that you slot in when you can slot it in. All right? It doesn't require 8 hours of your fucking day. It doesn't require 6 or 4 hours or 3 hours of your day. Like, you sit around and waste time watching Netflix, okay? If you're gonna then get on a fucking walking treadmill or a walking pad and you're doing steps and you're still watching Netflix, that's not taken away from your Netflix chill time, is it? No, you know? So things like that, you know, we look at where we can incorporate it. If you're gonna go out and eat a meal and go and enjoy it with your friends, I would much rather someone be like, hey, I'm going to go out, I'm going to choose a steak with veggies, versus being like, oh, I can't go out because I can't fucking track my food, because I can't bring my food scale. Oh, Jesus, like cooked things like that. Like, just go and fucking choose a good meal. I would rather someone go out and choose a good meal than fucking not go out at all. Okay? Now, drinking is a different story. People who get shit-faced every weekend, as soon as people cut out drinking, oh, I started to lose weight. Yeah, because you were drinking and eating like an absolute fucking idiot, and you need to work on restraint more than anything. You know, in the Aussie culture, I still don't have restraint, which is why I just don't drink much. Do I still go out with friends who drink? Yes. Do I still have fun? Yes. Guess what? I just fucking ghost at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Because I know if I go and drink, I'm going to eat like shit. And occasionally, that happens. But it's few and far between. Doesn't feel like I have restriction on my fucking social life. You know, it doesn't mean like, oh, I can't measure my macros. No, can't go out here. Like, you've got to have that flexibility and freedom, because this is what a sustainable lifestyle looks like. You know, you add health and fitness in where you can. If you aren't going to the gym at all, you think about realistically how many days can you fit it in. You know, if you are going for a certain amount of days, if life gets hectic and you have to cut it back, not eliminate it, you do it. It's like, oh, okay, well, for the next, you know, let's say you got a project coming up. It's coming to the end of the financial year and your boss is like, we're going to be working longer hours. All right, sweet. So instead of you going 4 days a week or 5 days a week, whatever it is, you go twice a week. And instead of the sessions being 2 hours long, or that's actually stupid. Instead of the sessions being an hour long, let's say, or an hour and a half long, they're half an hour sessions, okay? You fit health and lifestyle in, you don't make it consume your life. Because, as I always say too, something is better than nothing. We're trying to look for good enough here. It's still sustainable to be able to get half an hour of exercise in twice a week when you're under the when you're under the pump with work, versus being like, oh, well, I can't go my 5 days for an hour, so I might as well not bother. And then your coach is like, you can't even make it to the gym. Oh, fuck, are you even dedicated to this game? Do you even want it bad enough? Oh, I can't believe it. You know, you're embarrassing me. And it's like, all right, so they're projecting their reflection on you and like looking at you not going to the gym, making you feel bad, when it's like, okay, your boss. So it's like, do you choose work where you make an income and your boss tells you got to work? Or do you listen to your fucking coach who has no job at all except for his own self-employment, has like fucking 15, 20, maybe like 60 online clients, whatever it's going to be, has his time to fucking do whatever he wants, and he's going to make you feel like shit because you have a job that you need to be paid for? Like, can't believe you're not going to the gym 5 days a week. It's just like, fuck, man. Like, these unrealistic expectations that they are putting on you, or that you put on yourself from them, you really need to take a step back and look at what's going to fit in, okay? Like for me, again, I like to do a lot of exercise. I like to use my assault bike, I like to go swim, I like to box, I like to weight train. I'm doing exercise every day. But guess what I don't tell my clients they have to do? Exercise every fucking day. Do you have time to exercise? Like when clients ask me, hey, what do you think about adding this in? What do you think about doing this? I'm like, do you have time for it? I'm like, because if you don't have time, well then what are we going to do? You know? Where are we going to cut other bits of your life out in order to make an extra bit of time for this that's probably not going to benefit you in any way? You know, if you enjoy it, if you want to add it in, if you want to make time for it, then that's a different story. But if you don't, and you're doing the bare minimum, which is good enough, which is lifting 3 times a week, or exercise of anything 3 times a week, and you're doing roughly 8,000 steps a day, then you're pretty fucking good as gold, to be honest, you know? Anything extra is going to be a benefit, but like, You just can't be looking at the people that you think you want to be or think you want to look like when the lifestyle is just fucking unreal. Like, there's no way I'm going to tell a mum with kids to be like, I can't believe, your kids kept you up last night, but I can't believe you just didn't get up at 5 a.m. and still go to the fucking gym. What's wrong with you, I had a bad sleep last night. I still went to the gym. Says me, the fucking guy with no kids, has 2 cats, and my biggest fucking issue is when the cats spew on the carpet, which shits me to tears, because I'm like, fuck's sake, these fucking cats. Like, that's my first world problem, I don't project that onto my clients, because I understand that they also have life, and their lives are way busier than mine. Like, here's me. Oh, fuck, man, got a busy day trying to get all this shit on. Working from home, got to do this, got to be able to go to the gym, maybe I have to go to the shops to pick up food, like my busy life. And then a mum with 4 kids is like, oh yeah, I still show up to the gym 4 days a week and I still go to meal prep. I'm like, whoa, like, fucking I'm nothing in comparison to someone like that. Or again, a guy who's working like a fucking tradie, works 12-hour days, still will go to the gym, still makes time for his food and stuff like that. Like, it's just different. And I would not expect him to be like, you have to go 5 days a week, mate. Come on. What are you doing, I expect you to eat like a fucking king every day. I expect you to be up early, grinding, getting your cardio in. Like, mate, you're working fucking 12-hour days, And so you really have to take a step back and think, are your goals realistic? And if they're not, if you're setting these goals that are unattainable, make you feel bad and things like that, like the question you ask yourself is like, is this fitting in with your lifestyle? Because it's always cool, it's always exciting when we set something new. We want to do this and you want to add this in. And it's just like, you get that little bit of momentum, you're like, yeah, sweet. But it's like, again, is that fucking sustainable? It's the same thing as a 12-week program that people go on. Usually, what happens in 12 weeks? It's calorie restriction, it's a high amount of exercise, and people are like, yeah, I can sustain that for 12 weeks. All right, sweet, you can sustain that for 12 weeks. Cool. So you probably increase your activity overall in a week compared to what you usually do by like 1.5 to 2 times the amount, which is also why weight drops really quickly. Okay? So you've done that. Let's say, you're a baseline, you're at here, you've gone up by 150, 200%. Okay, cool. You've done 12 weeks. Well, now what? What are you going to do? What do most people do? They go back down to where they were before. They lower their activity level. Why? Because the things they were doing, you just can't do for the rest of your life. What are you going to do? Fucking 10 high-intensity classes a week, lift twice, exercise 2 times a day, basically. Eat your fucking, your brown rice and your chicken for lunch every single day. Make sure you're starving yourself. You can't go out on the weekend. You can't do any of those things. Is that going to be sustainable? No. That's why people put the fucking weight back on. Because they don't learn the long-term habits in order to keep it off. But they also just set unrealistic expectations. And this is why I've always been trying to advocate for people to aim lower. There is nothing wrong with aiming lower, because when you aim low and low doesn't mean that you don't fucking push yourself. All right. Low doesn't mean that it's just, what's the point in doing it? Low just means just fucking look down a little bit compared to where you are. All right. All right, I'm aiming for 20,000 steps a day. Okay. How many are you doing at the moment? 8,000 steps. Well, fuck me dead. How about you try and get 10,000 steps first? Just a fucking, a little bit of a recommendation. All right, I'm going to change all of my meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, all together. Okay, cool. Do you know how to cook? No. All right. Do you get meal preps? No. All right, sweet. Do you have time to meal prep during the week? Maybe on a Sunday. Okay. Do you want to spend 2.5 hours meal prepping? Breakfast, lunch, dinner every day? Not really. Okay. Do you know what macros are? No. But you want to change all your meals? Yes. In 1 week? Absolutely. All right. And how successful are you going to be with this? You might last the fucking week, And it's just take it a step back. Again, when I say start with 1 meal, I literally mean start with fucking 1 meal. Because people just start trying to add in all these things. And it's do you want to set yourself up for failure? Do you, it just blows me away. It's I'll use the analogy with me with boxing, all right? So I've been boxing for 12 months now. Well, when you listen to this, it'll be 13 months. The day I started boxing wasn't when am I going to fight? Okay? Can I fight next week? Can I fight next month? It's when I am ready to do it, my coach will let me know. Okay? But all I knew was for the first year, I'm just going to start practicing. And guess what we started with? Footwork. We didn't even start with me fucking throwing punches. We started with footwork. Then we worked on my jab. Once my jab was good, then we worked on my cross. Then we worked on adding things together. It wasn't week 3, I'm hey man, why am I not throwing 5-punch combos? Why can't I fucking duck and weave and move? Why am I not on the ring, man? What's going on? I just want to jump back in the ring. I just want to fucking fight straight away. I don't know how to box, but I just want to fight straight away. Can you throw me in? My coach would be like, what are you fucking talking about, bro? Like, you've never fucking put gloves on in your life. Same thing is like, again, your job. You rock up to your job. You're like, so am I going to be CEO like next week, or is it 3 months from now? Is it like a 12-week like fast pace for me to become a CEO? Your manager's going to be like, what? No, I've been here for like 4 years, man, and I'm just the manager. Like, fucking sit down and relax. You have to aim lower, okay? And it's like when we build up that momentum, you're way more likely to fucking stick to it. The amount of times I have to put my ego in check because I start putting things too high, and then when I don't succeed with it, I'm like, oh, well, this is fucking annoying. Why can't I stick to it? Oh, wait, it's because I haven't fucking done this before, or it's a new experience for me that's just a time component. Like, why can't I meditate for fucking 5 minutes? Oh, because I've never meditated before. Let's start with 1 minute. All right, sweet, that was easy. Okay, let's start with 2. Yep, sweet. All right, let's start with 3. Yep, easy. Start with 4. Oh, fuck, now it's getting a little bit hard. All right, sweet, let's do 4 for a week. Cool, let's get up to 5. It took me all of last year to now I meditate every day, 15 minutes a day, because I made the time for it, okay? A year for 15 fucking minutes of meditation. Could have done that within a day and just locked it in. Guess what? Doesn't happen like that. We're not fucking robots. We don't just say, I'm going to put in this algorithm and expect this result. We're humans. We have emotions. We have fucking ups and downs. We have life that goes on. We do not live in a vacuum. Okay? And like, again, you've got to think about, you're trying to take care of your health and fitness, which is one component of your life where you have everything else going on. Okay? And it's funny because one change has a ripple effect, which is what you've got to think about. You want to change all your breakfasts. Okay, well, what have you now got to think about to do? You've got to think about how to create recipes. You've got to learn how to cook these recipes. You've got to make sure you have time where you've actually put things on the list that you're going to go and buy them at the shops. You've got to make time to go food shopping. You've got to make time for meal prep. You've got to make sure that you're, every morning you're going to be eating the breakfast. You've got to make sure that you're making time to actually make the breakfast, whether it's morning, whether it's the evening. That's like, 6, 7 things I just rattled off from just changing breakfast. You want to start going to the gym 4 days a week? Okay, well, let's have a look at what your lifestyle's like at the moment. Where are you going to find 5 hours a week? Even though you want to go 4 times, I'm going to say 5 hours because travel time and all that shit. So it's like, all right, now are you going to go before or after work? Does that mean you have to go to bed later or earlier? Sorry, I shouldn't say later. Do you have to go to bed later or earlier based on whether you go before work or after work? Do you now have to take a different bag to work so you have your workout gear? Do you now have to take a different route, which is going to take longer? Do you have to find a gym that you have to join up at? Do you have to now learn how to exercise properly? Are you going to hire a PT? Are you going to figure it out yourself? Are you going to dedicate time to start learning about this thing online so you learn about how to train properly? Like, you're creating yourself new problems with something you're trying to achieve, and that's why it's fucking hard to do more than 1 or 2 things at a time, right? Again, we'll go back to this boxing analogy. I'm like, all right, sweet, I want to start boxing 2 or 3 times a week. Had the intentions to box 2 to 3 times a week. I don't know how many of you know about in Sydney. I live in Newtown. Watson's Bay is about a 40-minute drive, okay? So, you got to, now this is what I didn't consider. Perfect example. I was like, I want to start boxing 3 days a week. It takes me 40 minutes to get there, and I arrive 10 minutes early. Then the session goes for an hour. It takes me about 40, 45 minutes to get home, all right? Let's think about that. So that's basically 140, 150 minutes. So nearly, let's say 2.5 hours all up that I've got to dedicate out of my day 3 times a week. And I've got other shit that I'm also trying to do. Well, that was stupid of me because I didn't have fucking 3.5 hours a day. 2.5 hours a day, 3 times a week to dedicate to that. Like, that's a good chunk of time. So guess what I started doing? Doing it once a week, all right? Then I thought, okay, I know Wednesdays are like this. I know my day on Wednesday isn't going to be as productive with work because I'm going to have to do this travel side of things. I've accepted that. Where am I going to add in a second day if I want to get it in? I'm going to do it on Saturday where I have more free time. I can't go to 3 days a week. I just can't fit it in because another 2.5 hours is just a lot of time for me, And that's a problem I created for myself because I'm like, I'm going to go 3 times a week because I didn't consider how much of a change all that's going to make. I was like, yeah, boxing goes for an hour. That'll be right. Well, fucking forgot about the travel time, and the travel time adds up. So using these things as learning lessons and just being able to step back and be like, what's going to be realistic for you? Again, these people giving you unrealistic expectations. You're trying to put these unrealistic unrealistic expectations into your life, and you are feeling shit because you can't fit them in. And then when we look at the grand scheme of things, it's like, well, of course you can't fucking fit them in. But guess what? What can you fit in? You know, what can you add in? Do you want it bad enough with what you say you want? Because again, you probably don't. You want to feel confident with your shirt off. You want to look good with your shirt off. It doesn't mean you have to do the dedication, the 7 days of exercise and all that shit. It just means you have to reset your goals to do a little bit less. Because guess what? You can look pretty good doing less. And people forget that. Like, people think they have to do all this shit. It's like, you don't, you know? You definitely don't. And this is why the good enough concept comes back. Aim for good enough. Take a step back and ask yourself, what's good enough for me this week that I can start taking care of my health and fitness? What's good enough for me today that I can start doing? Do you have 10 minutes extra of walking a day? I have clients, like, my biggest thing with clients is to fucking slow them down. Okay, let's just take a step back. Let's do this instead. Hey, Tice, I've been trying to do this. What do you reckon about this? I'm like, okay, so you're doing 8,000 steps. You want to do 12,000 steps. Yes. Okay. That's an extra 40 minutes a day you're going to have to dedicate to trying to get steps in. Do you have 40 minutes? Oh, I don't know. Some days I don't even get 8,000. All right, well, let's aim for 9. Or, why do you want to try and get more? Is a better question I should have asked first with one of my clients that said that. Why do you want to get more, right? Oh, I just want to be healthier and be more active. All right, sweet. That's fine. Do you have time to do that? Nah. All right, well then guess what? We make the most of what we can. Because when you're real about it, and you're like, all right, well, I can only do this, then you just accept what the fucking reality is. Again, I wish I could box 5 days a week, let alone fucking 2 days a week. But I just don't have the time. So I accept reality. I scale my goals back for twice a week. That's what I'm doing, okay? I wish I could go for a swim every morning because the fucking, you know, when it's a bit warmer at the moment, I love the beach. I live too far away from the beach to go every single morning. I can't make that time within my day, you know? I have to be real. All right, so I'll go to the beach. Well, when I do boxing, it's actually next to the beach, so I go for a swim on boxing days. I get 2 swims a week. Makes me feel good. It's realistic. I'm not like, oh, fuck, man, I feel like a failure. I can't go swimming 5 days a week. Oh, that's just annoying. I wish I could do this. I wish. We can fucking be wishing all we want. But guess what? We live in a real world. And it's not a perfect world. And it's just like, instead of wishing, I wish I could look like this. I wish I could do this. How about you just be like, okay, I wish that. I can't do it. What can I do? What is realistic for me at the moment? Because when we accept what actually reality is for us in this moment right now, and we set realistic goals and expectations, it's actually, you're a lot more free for doing that. Because now there's no comparison of, like, it's good to compare, like I used to say, comparison is the thief of joy. I'm wrong about that. Comparing yourself to other people helps motivate you and inspire you, okay? But do not compare your lifestyle based on someone else's lifestyle that's not in line with yours. And that's what you need to remember. Because again, if you are looking at someone who's fucking 25 years old, they don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whoever they are, you know, they live in a fucking apartment on the Gold Coast, they have no animals, they work online from home, they fucking do whatever the fuck they want all day, and you're someone who's got 3 kids, you got 2 animals, you're fucking, you know, you're working a 14-hour day, you got to come home, you still got to, you know, look after the kids in the afternoon and play with them, you're burnt out, you got shit sleep, you're trying to struggle to get to the gym 2 days a week, and you're feeling bad for it. You just need to take a fucking step back and refresh yourself, okay? And there's nothing wrong, again, with aiming a little bit lower and being real with your expectations. I never set my clients up for failure. Sounds surprising. Why would you set your clients up for failure? Yet fucking every cunt, there you go, every fucking cunt who cannot relate to their client and gives them unreal expectation is setting people up for failure and making them feel bad because these people can't fucking understand what normal life is, you know? And here's the thing, your goal should be to be normal. Have a normal life. Have fitness have fitness in your life, but just live a fucking normal life, man. You know? Like, it just shits me when I say, oh, I fucking hate to be average. Or, you know, I'm going for the best. I'm going to do this. Like, bro, like the people that say that, you don't want to be average. You want to be the best. Cunt, you're just fucking, you're training in the gym. You're starving yourself for 12, 16 weeks. You're stepping on stage to show off what you got in a depleted state for a plastic trophy that you don't get paid for. And that like 0.0000001% of the world is going to know who you are. You're not walking down the street and someone's been like, you inspired me today. You know, oh mate, fuck, you're the grinder. You know, you push it hard. You get up every morning, you do your 30 minutes of cardio on that treadmill, you train for an hour, you track your macros to the gram, you choose to be hungry. Yeah, you don't want to be average. You want to be the best. It's like, holy shit, man. Like, let's take a fucking bit of reality check for us. You know, like there's nothing wrong with having an average lifestyle. And like people say average, like make out like average is bad. I would like to, like for me, I like having, like seeing myself as average, you know? I like to add fitness in. I like to go and enjoy things with my friends. I like to go and chill on the weekends. I like to fucking watch TV shows. I like to, you know, sit around on Sundays and do fuck all. I like to just go and just do whatever. Occasionally, I like to go and get fucking high. You know, I like to go to a festival and get cooked. Guess what? That's just being average. That's just having a normal life. You know, occasionally I like to go fucking travel and get drunk with friends. It is what it is. I don't do it all the time, but I have all that balance. And what's wrong with that? Right? I care about my health. I put health into the perspective, but I also just have fucking a good enough life. Do I want to have imbalance in my life? Like, do I want to be fucking striving for the best and neglecting my friends? Do I want to be like, I'm on the top and I'm doing this and my fucking haters, like who's hating on me? What am I doing to disrupt people to fucking bring haters? All I'm trying to do is help people every day. I'm like, hey, I'm a coach. If I can give advice to one person every day and it helps them out, fucking great. If I can be a better partner to, if I can be a better partner to my partner, if I can be a better partner to Angie each day, great. If I can fucking have fun food reviewing each day, fantastic. Am I making massive moves? Am I fucking like, you know, again, disrupting the industry? No, I'm just fucking just trying to help people. I'm a normal guy who likes to be fit and healthy, who wants to help people, and then my fucking free time, I like to fuck around and do whatever I want. Why? What's wrong with that? You know? For you, you're like, hey, I work my 10-hour job. I like to go to the gym 3 times a week. I like to go for a walk on the weekend and get a good coffee. Sometimes I go out with my friends and have some drinks, and that's okay. Like, fuck me dead. It's like it's a bad thing. And this is why I try and push the good enough thing again. Like, I want to say good enough versus average, because there's just like a bad connotation with average, and it's like, fuck man, okay, aim for good enough. Good enough in all areas of your life. Like, you know, there are definitely people that are more driven out there that want to, you know, they have their career as their focus, or they have it with whatever it's going to be. And if that's you, then fucking sweet. But I'm like, I don't want to give up shit. Like, I like hanging out with my friends. I like being social. I like that I still get enough sleep, because I'm a grumpy fucker if I don't get enough sleep. I like that I can choose to do what I want on my weekend, and that, again, if someone invites me to something, I can say yes. I like that, you know, again, like, I don't want to fucking work 14, 16 hours a week. I don't want to be starving myself to step on stage to be fucking hungry and just for people to look at me physically and be like, yeah, nah, this person looks better than you. Like, what the fuck? For a plastic trophy that I don't get paid for. Jesus Christ, man. I want to be fucking great. I want to be savage. Whatever. Cool. When I say savage, that just came out thinking of C-Bum. He is a savage, by the way. And again, use these people as inspiration, but do not use them. Yeah, use them as inspiration, but do not use them as comparing your lifestyle. Because again, perfect example. Look at Mr. Olympia, C-Bum. He has a partner and he has a dog. He has no fucking kids. He has a fitness company. If anyone doesn't know who C-Bum is, again, he's just Mr. Olympia. I think he's Mr. Olympia. Is that right? Yeah, because it's heaps of them. Yeah, he has a girlfriend, no kids. She's got a dog. I don't know if he has a dog or they just share the dog. He gets to live he gets to bodybuild every day. He gets to spend hours in the gym because that's his job and he actually gets paid for it. And he has a fitness apparel company. I think supplements too. And it's like, yeah, sweet man. Like, he's got that sorted. All right. But that's him. Like, are you going to fucking try to do that? No. Do you want to do all that? No. Cool. Then be okay with just not fucking, you know, ruining yourself. I hope this all makes sense. I hope this rant actually helps people. I just think the biggest thing is, guys, like, don't set these stupid, unrealistic goals and feel bad because you can't achieve them because you're chasing the wrong goals, okay? Look at what's good enough for you. Look what's good enough to get a fit in your life and just aim for that, okay? And if you have a coach and they're giving you unrealistic expectations or they're making you fucking feel guilty for things that you can't do, fuck them off, okay? Because they actually don't understand your lifestyle. So there you go. There's a rant. I hope it made a little bit of sense, somewhat. I tried my best. If you guys did enjoy this rant, please share it. Please give it a tag. And if you actually want a coach who's going to give you realistic fucking goals, that's going to fit into your lifestyle, that's going to teach you how to make it sustainable and not consume your life, then also you can message me for online coaching. Because I guarantee you, I'm going to make sure that whatever we aim for is going to be realistic and fit within your lifestyle, and don't make you feel like shit when you can't hit certain things, and just help you focus on what's actually really important. Cool? All right, I'll speak to you guys next time.